All right, everybody, it is 2 p.m. Eastern time, so we're going to go ahead and get the show on the road. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a great week, just around the corner from the weekend. So finish strong. We're almost there. But for those that don't know me, my name is Phil Lamar, and I am the marketing sales director here with ACMG. Want to also introduce a couple other folks on the call. We have our good friend, the founder and CEO of ACMG, Rob Swanders, on the call with us. And our good friend and partner over at National General, Phil, is on the call with us and will be presenting today. But I'll introduce him. I'll introduce his company more here in a second. For those that don't know ACMG, ACMG stands for American Central Marketing Group, and we are one of the biggest FMOs in the country. We partner and serve agents just like yourself in all 50 states, thousands upon thousands of agents. We have the honor and pleasure of serving, and we do that by helping with a couple things. We help you by providing you with the top contracts, the top commission schedules, top products and carriers in the business. That's what we do all day, every day. And today's call is going to be doing exactly that. Really excited for you to see the products, the carrier that we're going to be talking about today. Definitely something that you're going to want to add to your portfolio, no question about it. Before I introduce you again to Phil and hand it over to him, want to bring up a couple things here. If you've been in the health insurance space for any time now, you've probably realized there is huge opportunity. If you're not in the health space, make sure you really tune in and you pay attention, because there is so much opportunity. There's so many people to help. And the beautiful thing is, not only is there so many people that you can help, you can make a ton of money doing it. What more can you ask for? Helping people and making money doing it at the same time. That's what we do. That's why we're in this business. So like I said, there's a lot of opportunity. More than ever, people are going to the gig economy. People are leaving their cozy 9-to-5 job, their corporate job, to start a business, whether that's being a plumber, electrician, a real estate agent, a contractor. Someone maybe wants to open up a coffee shop. They want to open up a small grocery store. Whatever it is, the point is people are starting small businesses and becoming self-employed now more than ever. And the stats prove that. One of the biggest roadblocks or challenges that people are running into these days that are starting these businesses is health insurance. What do you do for health insurance? You leave your employer with your comfy job, you normally lose your health insurance. It's a big problem that people are running to. How can you find good insurance that's quality with big network, that's not going to break the bank, that's not going to make your business that you just started go into bankruptcy, right? What if I told you that there is a carrier and there are products out that can do exactly that? You can help these people get quality health insurance that's robust, big, massive PPO networks that can take care of your clients, keep them and their families protected, while at the same time keeping their overhead low, getting them affordable benefits. Most of the time people think that they have to go through their state marketplace. Guess what? That is not, I repeat, that is not always the case. There are, for a lot of people, better options. And today we're going to be talking about how you can help people get good quality health insurance and make money at the same time. So without further ado, I want to hand it over to our partner, Phil, over at National General. Phil, go ahead and take it away, my friend.
All right, Phil. Thank you for that lead in. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. And we can see your screen.
Okay, that was a strong lead in. I'm feeling a little pressure. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to say thank you. There is a ton of agents on this call. I really appreciate everybody. I mean, you could be doing anything this afternoon and you're here. So I appreciate you. A special thanks to Phil Lamar and Rob Swander for letting me be part of your group here. I am Phil Mishler. I am your I'm your rep for National General. Our name is going to change, but before the end of the year, we will switch to Allstate Health Solutions. So will no longer be National General, but for today, we're National General. Welcome, everybody. Basically, we are talking today about short-term medical. So whether you got in the business yesterday or you've been writing short-term medical for 20 years, there's something for everybody today. As always, it's not a death march through PowerPoint. slides, but we're going to have to look at a few so all this makes sense today. So we are going to be, I'm going to be giving you some advice about disclaimers that you want to give a customer so your phone doesn't ring at claim time because you forgot to give the client a heads up on something. Most of what I try and do in life is avoid surprises, right? So we try to avoid surprises at the agent level and also at the customer level. So with that being said, let's take a look at what we have here today. So this is me and my team. This team we are just shy of 100 years of combined experience in the health insurance space. It makes me feel old, but it should make you folks feel comfortable and that you're working with folks that have quite a bit of experience in this space. So for short-term medical, people are looking at it for a variety of reasons that you can see right here on the screen. I'm not going to read them all to you, but short-term medical is our primary historical flagship product. And what really makes it great, and I'm going to talk about it in a little more detail, it's the nationwide network. It's the fact that we can lock the customer in and they have rate certainty where they know what their rates are going to be for year to year, all the way up to 3 years. So you'll see all the reasons here why someone might buy short term, and some reasons people might want to keep it for more than 1 year. Okay, so starting it with the basic fact that this is really your toughest job. You can forget everything else. All you need to know is your toughest job is really separating the 50% of people you run into that are a good fit from these folks here on the right that are not a good fit. So suitability is really important. Your best fit customer is going to raise their hand. They're going to say, hey, I'm paying too much. And they might follow that up with a statement that says, hey, and I hardly ever use it, right? Ring the bell, because that's really the person that's a good fit. And you can read the rest on the right yourself. Oh, went too far, sorry. Okay, so here are some of the highlights of short-term medical. We do have plans that offer offices at copays. Every short-term medical plan we sell has an urgent care copay. There's different different prescription drug options, and we do offer any day effective dates as soon as tomorrow. Oh, I did forget to mention one thing. If you have questions as we go through, please chat them out. I will address all of them as we get towards the end here. So basically, we break our plan into low, medium, and high, and guarantee issue. And then we give them fancy names like I consider our high plan to be the copay enhanced. The enhanced is really where most of our business is written. Essentials is our lowest plan. I'm going to show you why you should avoid promoting that plan. And then, of course, in most states, we're the only quality carrier that has a guarantee issue short term. So this is the copay enhanced plan design. So this is for folks who might have known somebody that had COVID in the last couple of years and survived, but they were in the hospital for a really long time, and they'd be more comfortable with a $5 million maximum, as you can see here on the right. And in most states, we really stick with these two bottom options, which is the 6,000 100% or the 8,000 deductible and 100% coverage thereafter. In some states, we still do offer the first two options, the 2 and the 4,000 with 75/25 coinsurance. I'm a personal fan of the 100% plans because I don't have to explain to the customer what coinsurance is. Well, it's not hard for me. It's just an extra step. It's much easier just to say, hey, it works just like your auto deductible. You hit it and you're done, assuming we're talking about covered charges. Okay, so the hallmark of the copay plans are copays. And so there's a $40 primary, a $60 specialist. It's a real $10 generic drug card that actually covers pre-existing conditions. So I'll explain how that works quickly. So if your customer buys this copay enhanced option, they're going to enjoy the office copays, but they're also going to enjoy a $10 generic drug copay. And even though we don't cover pre-existing conditions on the medical part of these plans ever, when your customer buys up to this option, they will be able to pay $10 for generic drugs that would cover a pre-existing condition. So for example, it's very common for an agent to write a new case and the customer has, let's say, hypertension and cholesterol, right? And in those cases, typically the customer's on a generic drug and they see their doctor a couple of times a year for follow-up visits or checkup visits in relation to those two conditions. So that's a great example where you could put somebody on this plan. And normally, if you don't promote this plan, you'd be telling your customer those two conditions are excluded for medical and for pharmacy. So it's a nice benefit. If your customer buys up to this option, they would have a $10 generic copay. You might be asking yourself, where does the $3,000 maximum come in? The $3,000 maximum is the difference between the generic drug copay and what the actual price of the drug is. So if your customer is going to pick up a $50, what normally would be a $50 cost for a generic drug, which would be kind of pricey, it's that $50 that credits towards the $3,000. And this option does cover adult immunizations, and they go towards deductible and coinsurance. This is really, I think, this is definitely where most of our sales are. And you can see all the different options here. The enhanced plans do have $1 million maximum. And you can also do low or high deductible and then 100% coinsurance. What I like to stay away from is this option. It's called the Essentials. The reason I don't like Essentials is it's got this $250,000 maximum. So if you're going to promote it, you would definitely have to let the customer know that. In addition to that, it has a $15,000 outpatient services limit. So it's really not my favorite. I'm bringing it up just so you understand, if you're in there doing some work, you may just want to stick with one of the two plans I mentioned earlier. And we'll look at the pricing for all these plans in just a bit. And then this is our guarantee issue short-term medical plan. And as I mentioned earlier, we're the only quality carrier that has this option. This is basically for someone, let's say, who wakes up in July, which would be next month. They wake up next month, they realize they need health insurance, they haven't had a life event, and they have diabetes. Okay, so that would be the poster person for this type of a plan. Yes, it does have 100,000 maximum, but I got to tell you, and I'm sure most of you would agree, it's 100% better than no insurance. So it is guarantee issue, meaning if your customer breathes air and they have a credit card, they can get it. What guarantee issue does not mean is that we're going to cover pre-existing conditions. We're going to cover them from everything else, but I guess it says that right down here. It says pre-existing. So anyhow, the guarantee issue also is not part of our multi-year rate guarantee. You can only buy this 12 months at a clip. But I think, several times a year it's going to come up, and now you know. All right, so there is an out-of-network benefit. The networks are awesome. Occasionally, some folks will go out of network. When you go out of network, you can read there what happens. There is a cap on family deductibles of 3 per family. So if you don't take the copay plan, doctor visits are going to go towards the selected deductible and coinsurance. Some of you may be wondering, okay, well, what does that actually mean? What it means is if you're at an Aetna primary, or if you're at an Aetna non-specialist provider, you could count on a negotiated discounted office visit at $70. So assuming your customer doesn't take the copay option, they go in, let's pretend they have the flu. They walk into the doctor's office, doctor says, you've got the flu. That's going to be $70. And then a specialist, This is kind of a bit of a guess. I would assume a specialist is going to be around, in network, is going to be around $125. And that charge is going to go towards the applicable deductible and co-insurance. As I mentioned earlier, all of our plans have this $50 urgent care visit. It's important to note that the $50 covers walking in the door and getting diagnosed. What the $50 doesn't cover is lab work, blood work, expensive imaging. Those charges go to the selected co-insurance. It bypasses deductible, goes straight to co-insurance. So a little known fact, if you have a customer that says, hey, I'm taking my kids to the urgent care twice a week due to sports injuries, they get all kinds of x-rays, you may want to put them on a 100% co-insurance plan. And in that way, everything they do, everything they get done to themselves at the urgent care is all covered under the $50. So hopefully that makes sense to you. There's emergency room benefit. And then of course we do cover diagnostic x-ray and lab, including the interpretation of the diagnostic x-ray and lab. Okay, you can see some other benefits here. As I mentioned earlier, I don't like the essentials because it does have this $15,000 limit. It's kind of important to note that. We do cover childhood immunizations up to age 18. And obviously there's inpatient coverage that would apply to deductible and co-insurance. And we also cover adult screenings. Okay, so this is really the hallmark of our short-term medical plan is the Aetna Open Choice PPO network. So Aetna Open Choice PPO network is going to be good everywhere or almost everywhere. In the small amount of places where it's not, we offer what's on the right, which is the Cigna network. In most cases, Aetna is going to be a better price point. The Aetna Open Choice PPO network has Sloan Kettering, Johns Hopkins, MD Anderson in Texas. If you're unfamiliar with MD Anderson in Texas, it is America's best cancer facility. So don't take my word for it. Okay, I mean, I'm noteworthy and I'm credible, but here's the web address if you want to plug it in and you decide for yourself. It's mynatgen.com/Aetna Open Choice PPO. It's kind of long. I'll leave it up there for another second for those of you who want to check. Okay, so here's a little bit more detail. All right, so this is regarding our rate guarantees and multi-year products. So we have what we call on the left renewable plans. So a renewable plan can last up to 3 years. So if you're trying to bridge someone to Medicare or you just have someone that wants to lock in and know what next year's rate's going to be, the renewable plans work two different ways. You can just insure the customer and protect their insurability from year to year without them knowing what year 2 or year 3 premium may be, or you can lock in the rate and the customer's rate will stay the same from 1 year all the way up to 3 years. And again, the rate stays the same. We also in the middle have what we call consecutive plans. So consecutive plans in most states is typically 2 12-month policies. Each year has a different rate attached to it, but the customer would know what both rates are at the time of application. So there's no surprises with the National General short term, and you can lock your customer in for multiple years. And I'll show you how to do it in a couple of minutes. In most states, we're going to, in order to get our short-term medical, your customer is obligated to join what we call our life association. So the life association membership comes with a whole lot of benefits, but the two that are most noteworthy that is where the customer gets their telemedicine benefit that's free to use, and that's where they get their discount prescription drug card. So if somebody's not buying up to the copay option, they're going to have a discount prescription drug card. The thing that's cool about telemedicine is, number one, it's free to use. Number two, if you want to, and you're an engaged agent and you want to coach your customer, you can say, hey, look, if you've got a non-emergency situation, try calling telemedicine. It's free. And then if the telemedicine people say, hey, you really need to see a doctor, roll up to the urgent care center and pay $50, right? And then if they say, nope, you need like more than what we can provide, then you're going to access a doctor, a specialist, or a hospital. So there is a way to coach your customer into not dumping a ton of money out of their pocket that they don't need to. All right, here's another hallmark of our plan. We're one of the few carriers that will do a child-only policy for short term. So as long as they're over 60 days old, we will do a child only, or you could have a child as a dependent. Oh, no, see, this is incorrect. It says children up to age 25. It's supposed to say through age 25. So our eligibility matches the ACA plan. So just pretend this word to actually says through, and then this would be accurate. So we make the build easier than some of our competitors. It's just a real simple. We take males under 300 pounds, females under 250. And if they're outside of that range and you're in most states, they do have the guarantee issue plan available. Okay, so these are our health history questions. There's not too many of them. Obviously, we're not taking anybody who's currently pregnant or an expectant father. We can't take either one of those. And if you're wondering why, I'll explain to you. A premature birth is the most expensive claim any health insurance carrier is ever going to see. So that's why we can't take anyone who's currently pregnant on our standard issue plan. If they've got AIDS or HIV, back 5 years. So all of our health history questions are actually, well, most of the health history questions go back 5 years. You'll see this last one at the bottom talks about, as the doctor said, you need surgery that you haven't gotten done yet, right? So we really don't want to be in the business of buying a claim. And then this is the big one. So this is going to knock out stroke, heart, diabetes, and you folks can read cancer. But I think the one that people sometimes miss on here is this last one on the left, neck back disorder or joint replacement. So you just need to be aware of these. It's for most people with normal health that they would qualify, but these conditions are definitely going to knock somebody out. They could still buy our guarantee issue. So the preferred rates, I'm going to get into this in the software. All you really need to know is customers who qualify preferred rates save 20%. And I'll show you what it looks like in the software. It'll be easier than looking at PowerPoint slides. There's some criteria here. I'll get into it more in the software. These are not the health history questions. These are just whether or not your customer would qualify preferred and save 20%. It's important to note that the preferred rates are just for primary applicants and spouses. And even if your client doesn't qualify for preferred, but they have prior coverage, we do knock a few dollars off the rate. Now, again, I'll show you that when we get to it. So limitations and exclusions. So if you're new to short-term medical, Phil Mishler's advice is make sure that you read the brochure cover to cover. And if you want to follow in the path of really good agents, make sure your customer reads the brochure. And if they don't do that, please make sure that they read their policy. And if they can't read the policy, just have them read the limitation and exclusion pages so they know what they're getting themselves into. These are pretty common exclusions. Okay, so a couple of things to note here. One is we do any day effective dates. So you can get coverage as soon as tomorrow. We make it easy to pay. Customer can pay via a credit card or bank account, and we can push out the effective date into the future. So if, let's pretend it's open enrollment and you have a customer that's, let's say you're moving off of an Affordable Care Act plan, you can push the initial payment out into the future so they're not stuck paying 2 health insurance premiums in the same month. And we do have a way, if your customer is willing to pay single payment, like an annual payment for 1 year or less, we knock off 20% off the rate. And again, I'll show you what that looks like. So we have a website. This website is natgenhealth.com. And as you can see at the top here, there's a section for agents and there's a section for existing customers. If the, there it is there. So natgenhealth.com. And this is for your folks, you can go in and get our brochures. We have Spanish language brochures, and we have for both our under 65 and over 65 products are right here. And as you can see here, they have marketing tools, brochures, flyers. If you need marketing flyers to promote what you're trying to do with our products, that's where you'll find it at natgenhealth.com. There also is a section for existing customers. So existing customers can go to this website to submit a claim. It's important to note that if they're an Aetna provider or a Cigna provider, that provider is going to submit the claim on the customer's behalf. But if they were out of network or they were on one of our indemnity products, some of the other products that we sell, they can download a claim form, and they can also look up their explanation of benefits at this site so they can track their claims, even though it doesn't say it here. Oh, and this is also where they can get their temporary ID card. You as the agent has access to the temporary ID card through the agent back office, but your customer can also access that here. So this is your recap. The hallmark of the plan is definitely the Aetna Open Choice Network. We can lock in coverage up to 3 years. We talked about the urgent care, and we do the child-only policies. In addition to the short term, we can also help your customer with these type of plans that you see on the screen here. To make a long story short, these are products people buy so they can actually afford to use their health insurance, okay? Whether it's our plan on our short term or it's an ACA plan, we don't care. All the products you see listed here can be sold standalone. You can come in here and just do an accident plan, or you could look at our no waiting period dental vision hearing for seniors, or a dental vision plan under 65. We have quite a bit of robust supplements. It looks like there's quite a few chatted questions. So I think before I get into quoting, well, actually, let me just finish this part. So this should be clear to a customer when you're promoting short term. They need to understand that it is, it's not an ACA plan. It's not major medical. The two are like apples and oranges. They have different exclusions. They really need to understand that. So I just leave this up, for some of the new folks. I just let you just take a look at this, but you want to make it crystal clear what a short-term medical is and what it isn't. And if you need help, reach out. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the questions because it seems like there's quite a few, and then we're going to look at some quoting because we still have a little bit of time here. Okay.
Yeah, we have I think we have 11 questions, Phil. Do you see them?
I do.
You want me to read them to you?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Jump in though if I missed one or something. Okay. So these are all disclaimers. Okay, so here we go. Are the copays unlimited or set to a certain amount? Okay, so the $40 primary and the $60 specialist copay is based on the number of months that they're purchasing. So if they're under 6 months, they get one each per family member. If the policy lasts 7 months or greater, each person in the family gets 2 copays. And we do have the ability of one person to use all the copays in the family. So Angela, I hope that answers your question. All right, can life association be sold on its own? Yes, it can, Frank, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. And I appreciate you, Frank, because you understand the value of telemedicine that's free to use. All right, let's see. Kate, is this available in New Jersey? No, it is not. Short-term medical is illegal in the state of New Jersey. But I will say, Kate, I'll give a plug. We have a very competitive Medicare supplement in New Jersey, and we have a very good accident plan. So I'd say stay with us if you can, because we do have some product there. Okay. All right, let's see. Is there a charge if someone gets a 12-month policy, but they want to get out after 6 months? Okay, Georgia, good question. So it is a month-to-month contract, just like most other health insurance plans. So even if you put someone in for a 12-month policy and they get a job in 3 months, they can cancel. There's only 2 things you need to know. Number one, they have to cancel in advance of the day they want. And their start date is what becomes what we call their month anniversary. So I make a long story short, let's pretend that you put them in for the 5th of July. So the 5th of July becomes what we call their month anniversary. So the other thing you can't do is call and say, hey, I want to cancel it on the 1st of the month, because the policy actually runs till the 5th. So Georgia and everybody else, I hope that made sense. Let's see here. Can 2-person household pay from 2 different bank accounts? Annette, okay, Annette. So there's only one form of benefit. So the only way that you could do that, Annette, is you'd break the primary and the spouse separately on 2 separate plans. And really the only thing they're going to incur extra is the association fee, pretending that they're in an association state. The association fee is $15 a month. It's included in every premium I'm about to show you on the next screen here. Yeah, so they'd only be incurring an extra $15 a month, and they can pay through 2 separate bank accounts. That's my solution for that. Okay, Alan, is there a chart to show the breakdown of states? Yes. So Alan, there absolutely is, and this is probably a good time to let me get out of this. Hang on a minute. Okay, so this will be a good opportunity to go to natgenhealth.com. And if we click agents and brokers, there's something in the way here. There is I'm not going to bore you with how to get it. What I'll do is I'll just send it out to the group. So when this is over, let me just make a WIO list here. I'm going to send you what states will allow X amount of policy term length. So we call that a state. All right, we're all set. I'll send it out to the group, and then you'll know, and I won't have to bore you with showing you how to get there. All right, let's see. We had a couple other questions to finish this out. How much is the rate increase year over year on renewable plans? So Angela, great question. So if you do a renewable plan and you select the rate guarantee piece, every month up to 3 years is the exact same rate. If you do consecutive plans, it's 2 different rates. Year 1 is usually a little less than year 2. Your customer will know that at the time of application. I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, and then I missed a question. Let's see here. I quoted a plan for someone, and she started calling some docs, and they were asking her, who is your administrator? She told them it was Aetna PPO with National General. So what is the answer to that question? All right, well, Angela or Georgia, you're touching on a subject that is near and dear to my heart. So Aetna has 50 different networks, okay? And the person sitting at the front desk, they're not as sharp as they used to be in doctor's office. I'm telling you, I don't know where they find these people, but sometimes we have people that'll look at the ID card. Let's pretend this is the ID card. They're going to look at it and go, nope, we don't take National General, right? Because they didn't flip it over and see the Aetna logo, right? Or maybe they don't even care. So the answer to your question is, you want to coach your customer. You want to let them know we lease the Aetna Open Choice PPO. So you can go to that website, mynatgen.com/Aetna Open Choice PPO, and they can look up a provider. But as many of you are aware, sometimes providers drop out of the network, right? So then you're going to call the office, you're going to ask for the office manager, and you're going to say, does your office participate with the Aetna Open Choice PPO? Not do you accept it, do you participate? And then that would be your answer. So, and I would just end by saying, don't take any nonsense from the people at the front desk. Coach your client up front. If they're listed in the website and the office manager says they're part of it, don't take the person at the front desk. We hope that makes sense. Then Praveen said Medicaid, etc. I'm not sure what that means. If you can qualify it, I'll definitely try and answer your question. How much is, okay. If they don't choose to have the set renewal, what is the percent? It's anybody's guess. So basically, we have trend that we apply from quarter to quarter, sometimes year to year. So it'd be very hard to say. So my advice would be, if that's really important, lock the rate in and then you'll know. But that's really what I can tell you on that. Are the rate increases like outrageous where your customer's going to go broke if they have to go into the second year not knowing what the price is? Probably not, but it's definitely not going to go down. So I hope that helps. Okay, Praveen reformatted the question. That was the second part of the question above. Oh, I see. Okay, hang on. Can someone have this short term? Okay. Yeah, so in most states, we don't restrict that they can't have other coverage. So as long as when you go through the health history questions, and we're going to look at them in a minute, as long as that state doesn't have a question that says, do you have other coverage that'll run concurrent with this one? If you don't see that, you can have whatever you want attached to this. And we have it a lot. Sometimes we have kids that do travel soccer and they're in an HMO at home. And even though most HMO or all HMOs have an emergency network, if you're out of state, sometimes people still purchase our short term so they can access this great nationwide network that we have. All right. Okay, we're good on questions. All right, so this is our quoting website. If you're seeing this for the first time, we have, this does several things. One of the things that it can do is if you click settings and you click and you get down to ePro consumer quoting links, for those of you who have an interest in posting a consumer facing link on your website, on somebody else's website, you can cut and paste, you can copy and paste this link here and put it wherever you want. And anyone that clicks on it is going to enroll themselves and you're going to get credit for it. This first one says short-term medical, but it's really for all of our plans. If I click on this little magnifying glass, this is kind of what it looks like. It's a basic, easy to use consumer portal. It's very similar to buying something on Amazon. You chuck what you want in the cart and you check out. So that's that. So for those of you who want, and of course, if you're into like social media blogging, and maybe you do an article about how important critical illness is and how nobody, not enough people buy it, even though 40% of Americans have a family history that would include cancer, and they could buy insurance to cover it. You can always do your article and then post this link at the bottom, and anybody clicks on it, you're going to get credit for the sale. All right, so for everybody else, what we're going to do is we're going to run a quote. I like to start all the quotes from this box here in the middle. It just works best for me. If I run a quote today and somebody doesn't buy and they come back next week, I just suggest you run a new quote. That way you know that your rates are accurate. That's what I like to do. So if you were doing a child-only policy, you would check this box and it would set up the whole quote to just be child-only. We do child-only for our short-term medical product, and we have a couple other products that'll do child-only. I'd like to start with the effective date. You can pick tomorrow, which is what I'm going to do, or you can go out 45 days in the future. We do push it out further than that during open enrollment. And then, so for today's purposes, we're going to run a female who is 44 years old. She's a non-tobacco user. She has prior medical coverage. So this is what I was mentioning earlier. This is what's going to knock a couple dollars off the rate. And if you get lost in here, you can hover over this little information thing and it will tell you this is for primary applicant. They just need to have coverage 9 out of the last 12 months. We don't check, we don't verify this information. If any type of health insurance would qualify. If the customer thinks it's health insurance, we'll take it, check the yes box, but that would include religious sharing plans, short-term ACA, association medical, it's pretty much everything. Now, this is the part only make me nervous when it says loading. I got a whole bunch of people on the call. Maybe I got the slow internet today. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to survive this. All right, so here you see choose package. Basically, what we've done is we make these packages available for folks like yourselves, so you don't forget to talk about our other products. Okay, so in this particular case, the Florida NIC package has a whole bunch of insurance here. But what's really cool about it is this person is buying a fixed indemnity. They're buying our short-term medical, our accident plan, our cancer plan, another accident plan, and a dental plan. And so what? Who cares, right? Check it out. You're getting all that for like let's call it $667 a month. It's not a bad deal. But anyhow, what you really need to know on this page is it's customizable. If you click this customize button, you can make your own package. Maybe you like to go out with a specific short-term medical plan. Maybe you like what I suggested, which is do a $2,500 deductible 100%. So I don't have to explain what coinsurance is to the customer. Maybe I put a dental plan in there, put something else in there for myself so I don't forget to bring it up to the customer. All right, but for today's purposes, we're going to cheat and we're going to click see all plans. And then this is going to feed into some of the questions that you folks had. So the first thing you need to know is the policy term length is, well, all these blue tabs are the different products. It defaults to short-term medical, okay? So this is kind of set up, it defaults to the short-term medical tab. The one thing you want to be aware of is that the default policy term length is 12 months. If you don't want 12 months, you got to click on this little down arrow and pick 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, or whatever you're looking for. But don't forget, if you pick 6 months or 12 months and they get a job, they can cancel early. Okay, so here's where you would pick annual pay, or I'm sorry, single pay. Single pay is only for short-term medical plans that you select that are 12 months or less. You can't do it on the multi-year guarantee. But for people who want 12 months or less, it saves 20%. If you want to save another 20%, you're going to click here, preferred qualifications. And this is where we are going to take a look. So someone willing to pay single pay annual and they're preferred to save 40%. Okay, so let's take a closer look at these. So they can't have used tobacco in the last 12 months. They have to have coverage 9 out of the last 12 months. Can't own or lease a motorcycle. No DUI or moving violation last 2 years. Can't have high blood pressure, cholesterol, anxiety, or depression. And then there's this separate build chart. Males under 240, females under 190. Okay, so if you believe that your customer qualifies for preferred, you're going to they have to have prior coverage, and you'll populate this box and say yes, and you would click update. Now I'm not going to click update because I got to show you the standard rates. And there's one thing that you need to understand is that with preferred, we do run an RX check. We run an RX check for whether you're preferred or you're standard, but the preferred check, the RX check, and if you're not familiar with it, basically the second that you hit the submit button, we run out through our data sources and pull the person's prescription drug history in the last 12 months. And what we're looking for primarily when it comes to preferred is medications revolving around high blood pressure, cholesterol, anxiety, or depression. So the one thing I want to caution you on is if you're quoting someone preferred, don't commit that they're definitely going to get it. Let them know we should get it, but there is an RX check, right? So if you don't give them that disclaimer and they don't get preferred, you can lose the sale because you didn't tell them they might not get it. Okay. And every once in a while, the RX check really only kicks out people on a very, it doesn't happen very often. Okay. So that's what's up with preferred. But as I begin to scroll down here, you'll see the plans and pricing for the short-term medical. Okay. And you'll see you can either proceed standard or you can do what I just showed you, which is proceed preferred. I'm going to scroll down here. This sample quote is for the state of Florida. This is a female 45. If you need a brochure, you're going to click right here where it says plan brochure. Okay. And in this case, we're going to go ahead and say that this person is preferred at $317, and I can click proceed preferred. It'll make me review these questions, check this box, preferred, the radio button, and click update. Then what it's going to do is it's only going to show me one rate, which is the preferred rate. The other thing that you need to know is policy term length. So right here, you'll see several different things. You'll see the first one here says 12 months with renewal available. So if I select that, and I move over here to renewal options, you can see there's one renewal. One renewal means it's a 2-year plan, but we don't know what the second year's premium is going to be. Okay. One renewal fixed premium means it's a 2-year plan and the rate's the same for all 24 months, so on and so forth until you get to 2 renewals with fixed premium. So I'll go ahead and select 2 renewals with fixed premium for this young lady, which means she'll get 3 years of coverage. I'll wait for it to refresh. All right, so this will answer somebody's question about how much does it cost year to year. So the rate does go up a bit, but we're locking this girl in for 3 years. Okay, there ain't no ACA plan in the land that's going to be able to tell you what next year's rate's going to be. And when it comes to ACA plans, if you're not getting a subsidy, I always say, what's so good about it, right? The rate's going to go up most years. The network typically gets skinnier on the renewal, and the out-of-pocket always goes up. Now, here's a trick. If you click on this blue rate, it'll actually pull up a dialog box, and it will give you all of your options for 1 year, right? No renewal. This was the original base rate right here, right? And you might be saying to yourself, Phil, what is the difference between this rate and this rate? It's the $15 association fee. Okay, so you can see it'd be $317 if I just took a 12-month plan, or if I did the full 3 years, it would be $423. It's important to note we do pay reduced commission for these renewal plans. It's actually what we call heaped commission. So we actually pay a little bit more for the first year than what you would normally get. And then years 2 and or years 3, we pay you about half of what we would pay you on a non-renewal plan. And you could be sitting there in your chair right now saying, Phil, that's awful. Well, it really is. I mean, it could be better, but the reality of it is that if I've got to bridge someone 3 years to Medicare, I don't care if I'm going to get paid a few shekels less. I want to do what's right for the customer. But if that's not for you, what you can do, this is full commission, is take this one down here at the bottom. I can't really, let me move this. Hang on a second. There we go. Okay. So if I go down at the bottom here, it says 2 12-month terms. These are what we referred to earlier as consecutive plans. This is full commission. It's locking the customer in for 2 years. I'll scroll down to the plan we were looking at, this 5,100%. So instead of $317, it's $363. If I click proceed preferred, it creates this cart on the right-hand side of the screen. And then if I'm lucky, there'll be a way for me to see what both years' premiums are. Okay, so this stuff's all in the way. Oh, okay, you can kind of see it here. So it's $363 a month for the first 12 months. And then starting June 16th, 2023, you can see it rises by, I'm not so good at math, let's call it $70. So hopefully that's answering a bunch of people's questions. There are a few things to mention here. Number one is, this is where it breaks out that $15 association fee. And this is where it lists the $35 one-time enrollment fee. And your customer will truly only pay that once. If you go to rewrite it a year, let's say you do a 12-month policy and you go to rewrite it in a year, there's a rewrite checkbox in the application, and you check it, it'll waive the $35 fee, and it'll alert us to the fact that the person's already an existing customer. For those of you who don't know, we offer group list bill for all of our products, including short-term medical. If it's short-term, you do need to call in advance because we approve those on a case-by-case basis. But for list bill to work, we need a minimum of 2 people to take it. So you could offer short-term medical to an employer, an association, an affinity group, and as long as 2 people take it, we're good. The way that it works is you send the employer an invite ahead of time. We provide the agent, yourself, and the owner with a list bill ID number. So when you go in to do the enrollment, instead of doing a checking account or credit card, you would click list bill and then poke in the list bill number. So the application, so if I wanted to initiate this coverage, of course, I would never just promote the medical. I would add our no waiting period dental and vision. I always like to go with the richest plan. I know I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna bring it to a close here pretty quickly. I would do this prime dental with vision. I'll add that. Tell the customer there's no waiting period. You go get your teeth taken care of tomorrow. I would go up here and I would add in a hospital plan, possibly an accident plan. Holy cow, they need life insurance. This is Simplify Issue Life Insurance. It's very inexpensive. It's 10-year term with a 5-year rate guarantee. Standard issue. You check all the questions. No, we issue the policy. So no blood, no urine. It's easy. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you folks today. I did want to mention all of these products do not require Social Security number for enrollment. So you can put foreigners on here. You could put students, foreign students coming here for school. These plans, like certainly for short term, is going to be a lot richer than a school-based health insurance plan or an international travel medical plan. So we think we've got some really good products. We've got a great process. Once you do the 5-minute application and click the submit button, you and the customer both get an email that says, hey, it's almost done. The customer's copy has a hyperlink in it. They click on it. They do a verification, which takes 1 minute. Then you get a second email that says the policy is, it says welcome to National General, which means the policy is active. So easy, robust network, people, knowledgeable people to support you. Hopefully you've heard something or seen something that you're comfortable with on today's call. I just wanted to quick check any other questions, and then I will let Phil close us out. All right, let's back up here. Oh my God, these are really good questions. Okay. Does additional coverage include VA and TRICARE? So if you're in a state that doesn't restrict, doesn't have that health, doesn't have that underwriting question that says, do you have other coverage? You could buy the short term. We don't have a restriction on giving somebody who has VA or TRICARE another line of insurance. I can't answer for VA or TRICARE. They may have a stipulation, and I'm not a VA or TRICARE expert. They may have a stipulation that says you're not allowed to have other coverage. On our end, we don't care. All right. Is there an easy way to get back to the zip code screen? Oh my God. Praveen, I'm telling you, I should be paying you money for this. It's something I wanted to show everyone. Yeah, so if you're like lost in the system or you just need to get back to Oz, all you got to do is click home twice. So I click the home button twice and it takes us right back to where we started. All right. Hopefully that answers your question. All right. Will they get a refund if they get the single pay? Yes, Georgia. So if a customer does annual pay and 3 months into it, they're like, I don't want this insurance anymore, we will give them a prorated refund. So, all right, cool. Phil, you want to close us out?
Yes, sir. Phil, great presentation. Thank you so much. I'm sure every single person, their brain's probably buzzing right now with questions, with action items. It's a lot of stuff. And obviously, like we said at the beginning of the call, everybody, this is something that you really, really, really need to add to your portfolio of services. There's very few carriers that offer products like this, especially with the quality and robust benefits that National General offers, especially for the price points. Having the preferred option for rates, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, all of you know it's best for your business, but coming from a marketer that does this all day, every day, trust me, you want this in your portfolio of services, because I promise you, Phil will tell you, competitor down the street does offer it. Promise you that. So obviously our job as insurance brokers and agents is to take care of our clients. And trust me, this is something that you're going to want to add to your portfolio. So what I encourage everybody to do, if you open up the chat, I posted in there twice, but for all contracting and for all commission schedules, we're going to make it really easy for you. All you need to do is email us at agentservices@acmgsales.com. Again, that's agentservices@acmgsales.com. No matter where your business is at, if you're a solo producer, if you're a GA and MGA, you have 5 agents, 10 agents, 100 agents, doesn't matter. We do have every contract available, and we're more than happy to get you set up on a contract that represents the production, the agents that you have. Just email us. That's simple. Email us. We'll send you the commission schedule based off of where your business is at, and we can get you contracted. National General makes it very, very easy and user-friendly to get contracted, which we're grateful for at ACMG. So I encourage everyone, open up that chat box real quick, save that email address, send us an email today. We will get you set up so you can start selling this ASAP. You can start taking care of your clients, and you can start putting plenty of food on the table for your families. So Phil, I think you've pretty much answered all of our questions out there. Looking through this. Yes. Nice presentation. Thank you again. Yep. Thank you. Glad you get this appointment. Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you so much for taking time today. Do you have any final thoughts before I end the call?
I just appreciate everybody. Reach out to ACMG, give it a try. I think we're best suited to support your efforts. Better than most reps, better than most carriers. We've got a great process. So I look forward to working with everybody. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, Phil, take care. Thank you. Great presentation. Everybody else, have a great rest of your week. Go out and get it. Let's have a successful closing this week, and we'll see you all next time. Take care.